What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Lounge. Stefano should be in here any minute now. For some reason, our producer, or the people that help us put the show together, we set it up for 8 o'clock tonight. I don't know why. I was always assuming it was 9. Miscommunication. I guess that's what happens when you don't dot your I's and cross your T's. Anyways, I want to talk about our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney. I've heard rumors that he's been photographed with Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe it was, and those photos are starting to appear. So, 100,000 liberals, or less than that, 0.08% of the Liberal Party appointed him, or something like that. The numbers are staggering low. The amount of liberals who were disqualified from voting for him. And how about all the liberal candidates that got disqualified? So they couldn't even vote for an alternative person. And who's going to vote for Chrystia Freeland? I don't know. Should we get into the who's related to who? We know Mark Carney is the godfather of one of Christina Freeland's children. Him and Trudeau have been buddy for quite a while. And I've got this little article here I'd like to start out by reading to you guys. I don't know where Stefanos is, but he said he'd be here in a few minutes. I guess he's running a bit late, or I'm running really late and he's just starting to catch up. I did speak to him. He should be in here in a few minutes. Where did I hide this article? This is going to be good reading for you guys. Where is it? Okay, junonews.com. This was printed by Juno News and Junone. This is the date, March 17th, 2025. Exclusive. Mark Carney sent daughter to discredited UK Tavistock transgender clinic. Now, the Tavistock clinic, I wonder if it's got any ties to the Tavistock Foundation, which is a known Marxist pushing, I don't know if it's an NGO, but I've got a book on it. I just haven't come across reading it. Anyways, into this article. PM Mark Carney's daughter, Sasha, who uses they, them pronouns. What does that tell you? They, them. It's one of those woke people. And we know they're not right in la cabeza. PM Mark Carney's daughter, Sasha, who uses they, them pronouns and legally changed her name, discusses her experience at the radical Tavistock transgender clinic in an essay unearthed by True North. So credit goes out to Cosmin. This is Durzra, Tien, and Alex Zoltan from True North. This is from X. Mark Carney used, I'm going to bring in Stefanos here. Stop me whenever you want, Stefanos. Talking about an article I found on that was sent to me. Mark Carney used his teenage daughter Cleo, a first-year student at Harvard. And what do we know happens at Harvard? Stefanos, it's a question for you. Which club is that? Okay, guys, I got to do the comments. Stefano sounds like a speeded up Donald Duck. No, really, you sound like Donald Duck. What the hell? What's going on? Did you get a voice changer? Where'd you get your cojones cut off? Got yourself fixed, did you? Just for tonight's transgender show. Anyways, boot down, then boot back up. I'm going to read this article for people. This is crazy. Try it one more time. What's going on? He's gone now. Anyways. Mark Carney used his teenage daughter, Cleo, a first-year student at Harvard, to introduce him at the recent Liberal convention, where party members voted to make him the prime minister. But Cleo isn't Carney's only daughter. Carney and his wife, Deanna Fox, have 4 daughters, and the eldest, 24, is a prolific writer and trans activist. In the alternative magazine Authenticity. I've never heard of this rag. Sasha Carney penned an essay in April 2020 called Mumsnet and Transmasculine Childhood. In the essay, Sasha talks about her experiences of feeling confused about her gender as a teenager and receiving treatment at the discredited Tavistock Gender Clinic in London, England. The Carney family moved from Ottawa, Canada to London in 2013 so that Mark Carney could become the governor of the Bank of England, according to an interview she gave for the Ottawa publication Department 613. Sasha, then Sophia, was 13 years old when the family relocated. Records show she moved back to North America to attend Yale University in 2017. Wow. So Harvard and Yale. So we think these are prominent universities and states. A lot of bad things come from people that come from these universities. Think secret societies. Sasha describes how one of her friends tried to gain the system in order to get top surgery, which is basically breast removal. A double incision mastectomy meant to masculinize young gender-confused women. Wash is my friend, after a year of weekly appointments trying desperately to get an official diagnosis of gender dysphoria, was denied the diagnosis and with it any hope of top surgery because they sometimes wore skirts. And then it breaks into this other part of the article. My teenage years existed in close proximity to this turf-driven scrutiny, which was fixated on identifying how authentically trans people like me really were. In 2013, shortly after I chopped off all my hair into a deeply regrettable floppy Justin Bieber cut, I moved to London, the land of Enid Blyton, murder mysteries. Blocked from my new house was the Tavistock and Portman NHS Foundation Trust, an imposing grey building which contained the country's only child and adolescent gender identity clinic. They're always messing with the language, trying to make it sound good, but actually it's just disgusting what they're doing in there, in my eyes, in my opinion. I watched as my friend, after a year of weekly appointments, trying desperately to get an official diagnosis of gender dysphoria, was denied the diagnosis and with any hope, top surgery. Anyways, let me see if I can scroll down here further. The Tavistock Clinic was ultimately shut down after years of controversy surrounding its treatment methods, which critics say amounted to medical experiments on children. Tavistock's child transitioning practice shuttered its doors in April 2024 after reporters revealed that minors were being rushed into life-altering treatment with few precautions. Ultimately, years of concerns from whistleblowers, clinicians, and detransitioners forced the UK's National Health Service to order the clinic's service. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, guys. Take that away from this. People know what's wrong with that they're doing what they're doing, and young kids, come on. The clinic prescribed puberty blockers to more than 1,000 children, some as young as 6 years old, without adequate psychological evaluations. In total, 382 children aged 6 and under were referred to the Gender Identity Service at the clinic. Does anybody know what the hell they're doing when they're 6 years old? I sure as hell didn't. I don't think many of you guys knew what the hell you're doing at that age. If you think back, I can't even remember being 6. Was accused of serving as a conveyor belt, funneling confused youth who often had concurrent mental health diagnoses into gender transitions, sidestepping proper medical scrutiny. A court case brought by detransitioner Kiara Bell was the final nail in Tavistock's coffin. Bell testified she was fast-tracked into puberty blockers at 16 without fully understanding the consequences. The lawsuit triggered a wider probe, leading to the damning case review. I think there's a typo there. It says case review, but which concluded that the treatment was harmful to children and little evidence existed to justify it. It is unclear how long Sasha Carney attempted therapy at Tavistock or if provided her with any so-called gender-affirming treatment. Neither Sasha Carney nor Mark Carney responded to a request for comment from True North. Born Sophia, she legally changed her name to Sasha in 2021 in New York, but had been using the name Sasha for many years prior. In 2019 news article for the New Haven Register. Sasha celebrates Yale for offering 3 gender choices on student IDs and identifies as being non-binary. Sasha has written for many publications promoting a hard left worldview and advocating for things like prison abolishing prisons, and for controversial pharmaceutical drugs known as purity blockers for gender-confused children. She also wrote about the genealogy of lesbian social spaces at Yale, the New Journal at Yale. In later publications, she rallied against what she calls TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists. Okay, so not only is this girl messed up in La Cabasa, can't even figure out which side of the left she's on. So this is who we've got coming in. This is the daughter. So, Trudeau's with all that Barbie crap, and there's pictures of Trudeau being down in, was it Costa Rica or Mexico, where he's being photographed with young boys. They kept that hidden pretty well. Our country is led by psychopaths, people. I don't know what we're going to do about it. We got to do something about it. Let me see what's here in the. What happened to Stefanos? Hold on, need to reboot. Oh boy. Bohemian Grove, yes. That Bohemian Grove, members from Bohemian Grove, I believe, originate from the Boston College universities. Carney's daughter is now male-looking or whatever, Sasha. Didn't one of the Trudeau's named Sasha? I think one of the Trudeau kids are named Sasha. Coincidence? Maybe. So his wife, climate change BS? Yep. Maybe she's not a she. No. Skull and Bones? I believe they come out of Yale, Skull and Bones. But yeah, these are the private fraternities. And yeah, you're going to call me all conspiracy theorists, but no, this shit's been going on for decades, guys. One of Trudeau's brothers is named Sasha. That's right. Thank you, Hesham. Yeah, so if you guys wanted, for those people that wanted Trudeau out, well, he's out now. And Carney's in. And you think Carney's going to be worse than Trudeau? I'll bet you he's going to be way, way worse. But don't let that get you down, because there's only a few of them and there's a lot of us. And you're going to have to call an election one of these days. So how much damage can they do in a year and a half? Probably a lot. But what can you do? Well, the shit's going to be hitting the fan. You start prepping. Keep those food stores at home. Start saving money. And this year I've decided I am going to talk about nothing else but politics and religion. I want you guys all to start talking to family, friends about politics and religion. There's been another one of those great big lies that I've come to realize. Remember when you were growing up as a kid, parents always says, if we go to a so-and-so's, don't talk about politics or religion. You don't want to lose friends. You don't want to upset anybody. You know what? We got into a little bit of politics and religion this year at Christmas, and I shut up. Kind of ended the conversation. And I started thinking, I'm fucking brainwashed. I bought into this. I listened to my parents, listened to other elders. Don't talk about politics or religion because it could get messy. You know what? We're in a fucking mess right now. How much mess you're going to get, you're going to soon find out. Now, why? I thought to myself, why don't they want us talking about politics and religion with our families? Anyone out there in the chat, give me an answer. Come on. Yeah. Hesham says there should be an election in Canada, but Carney is on a traveling spree. Technically, he can push us out another year and a half if he wants. There's also going to be a by-elections coming up. He may run for those. He may not. He still holds all the power. As always, the party elects the leader. Always. It's always been that way in Canada. You vote Liberal, you vote for your candidate. Your candidates get together, they vote in the leader. Or the leader's appointed and the candidates are told who to vote for, as is the case usually, in most cases. Oh, sure, they'll have elections. We've seen what happened to Maxime Bernier. Oh, guess who's decided to join us? Stefanos.
Sorry, how about now?
No, you don't sound fuck.
Damn, no Donald Duck now? Damn.
What the hell is going on?
Something happened. I don't know. I got this microphone here that I'm speaking into. It's kind of weird and furry. It's a weird mic. Speaking of the mic. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Great. The animal activists will be coming after you now. Abusing your kitty.
That's it, animal abuse. That's what we got going on here right now tonight. What the hell? So what did I miss here? Sorry about that. And you know what cleared my voice out was beer in a Hooters cup. That's what it did. Beers. Cheers.
Apple cider. Cheers.
Nice. Beers.
Anyways, I was reading a piece, an article about Mark Carney, specifically one of his daughters, who's so far left, she doesn't know which left to go to. That's how far left she is. Educated in the States. She's pushing this woke crap, lock, stock, and barrel like there's no tomorrow. And whether she's transitioned from a girl to a guy or whatever, she pushes this narrative hard. What kind of parents do you think Mark Carney and his wife are if they allow their daughter to go through this?
Well, it would. The obvious question would be a Justin Trudeau type parents. Isn't Justin Trudeau's one of his kids a transgender or whatever you want to call them?
I don't know about that. I know he looks kind of weird, but
not the rapper kid or wannabe rapper kid. The other kid.
Well, these are all psychopaths. Anyways,
you see the trend, right? You see the trend.
I don't know for sure. I won't say it.
Okay, I'll say it then, but you don't have to. I'll say it. Sue me.
Anyways, I was talking about why we were always taught not to talk about politics and religion. I was just getting into that.
Perfect, thank you, because I never mix religion and politics either. It's a recipe for disaster.
Well, I've come to the conclusion after 61 years on this, I don't know, call it a planet. Is it flat? Is it round? Who knows?
I hope it's a triangle and everybody's wrong.
Or a square, whatever. Where's it going with this? The reason why we're taught not talk about politics and not talk about religion, what does the left fear the most?
Well, freedom of speech. I know you're going to say religion, but I'm going to have a difference of opinion there. But let me hear your end.
So in communism, the state becomes your God. That's for sure. Or Satanism. We've seen this over the centuries. And the other thing is politics. You don't want to talk about politics because then you're going to start talking about all the lies. The politicians lie like there's no tomorrow. But if you don't discuss the politics and the lies and uncover it and go for the truth and start getting people doing critical thinking, they're just going to buy all the bullshit on the lies on the mainstream media. I haven't watched TV in, 5 or 6 years now, except if I have to, like I'm getting a haircut or if I'm in an airport or something, or a doctor's waiting room or something. But that's the only time I'll watch TV, and I try to stay away from it because I know it's all freaking lies. That's why we're taught as young kids, and even as young adults, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. Now, let's talk about most religions. The majority of religions are in favor of the nuclear family, a good, strong marriage, wives that do what they're supposed to do and what they're best at, husbands that do what they're supposed to do and what they're best at. Most religions teach respect of God, teach respect of each other, love thy neighbor, am I my brother's keeper. Generally speaking, the majority of religions are good. And I think religion has given us guidance to push us farther forward. Now, whether you're an atheist and you don't believe in God, or if you do, it's still a good book to read, the Bible. There's a lot of good information in there, a lot of good stories in there, a lot of lessons to be learned. A lot of things you can learn about yourselves, your neighbors, other people, people that are trying to harm you.
Morals. There's morals in there.
And Canada was founded as a Christian country. Don't give me this Judeo-Christian shit. That's a lie too, which is why they don't want us talking about politics or religion. Anyways, religion, I never married. Big mistake, but my situation was kind of unique. I was in an accident when I was 33 years old. Excellent women I dated when I was in my 20s. I figured I wasn't financially ready to take that step yet, and somebody else got them. Anyways,
Hence, you were a smart man, because if things didn't work out, you wouldn't have your bank account right now. But the way things are today, but you made a really, really good point, and I'll tell you the reason why I don't mix religion and politics is for the fact that there's just too many freaking religions. You got Christians, you got spin-offs of Christians, you got complete made-up stuff, you got religions that are much newer, you got New Age, you got, you name it, you got religion. And as a matter of fact, there was a church around here, who are atheists, and went to court and so they can try to claim their tax benefit for being a church. Wait a minute, I gotta put these glasses on for this one. And so they went to court, and when they went to court, they turned around and freaking they lost. And the reason why they lost was because they were claiming they're a religion. Well, you can't claim that you're atheist and say you're not a religion or non-denominational, and then turn around and say you want the tax exemption because you're a church. So you can't be not religion or not be a religion, not be religious, and then claim you're a church. It just doesn't work that way. But the other thing is, you have a lot of people. There was a certain someone Kevin had on the show, and they were claiming they were Christian. So people use this to extort people or to deceive them and think they're all nice religious Christians or whatever. And I'm not going to mention any names, but they were sitting there saying, well, I just recently found God, and I'm a practicing Christian. A newly practicing Christian. Well, guess what? You don't judge others, which you absolutely did. You broke almost every single thing in the freaking Bible that the Bible speaks about. And there's your other problem. How many versions of the Bible? There's a woman's Bible. There's just so many Bibles out there of these religions that aren't even religion and create their own. I think I might create my beer religion, and I'll be a new religion. We got the spaghetti head freaking religion, the spaghetti monster religion. We got all this stuff. So I tend, if I'm going to be religious, I'm going to go with the original religions, or the ones that are from way back when. A lot of those religions in their origins were pagan. Doesn't mean they're pagan now. They realized they're heirs of their way back in the 350 BC and around that area, and changed it because they recognize that you can't be this religion and be pagan at the same time, and they realize they're heirs and changed. But it's such a controversial thing. But the thing you did touch on that was really good was about the nuclear family. And how did they do this? So I think I was in grade 5, grade 4, and around then when the first gay person was elected into office. And I believe that was an NDP. I can't remember the name right now. But, this is when they decided no more religious class. So when there was a Jehovah Witness and we had religious class, they'd have to sit in the hallway. They're not allowed to listen or hear that stuff. And then they removed it out of the schools. And why did they take religion out of schools? That's because of the United Nations agenda. But people don't know this, and if you look into it, you'll see it's exactly what it is. Because when you have a child and you're taking that child to church, whatever religion you are, and some religions say, you know, if you're gay or whatever, you're an abomination to God and you must be struck down by the sword, I believe it is. I can't remember the exact thing, but it's along those lines. So you would not be able to have gays accepted in school or anything like that, and this pushes the narrative. So the UN agenda, UNESCO, the other branch of the UN, who writes our curriculum in Ontario and in Canada, and they came along with saying that the separation between the parent and the child must be a definite separation. So we have to separate that child. So if the parents have been instilling morals into the child, the teachers in the school and the education system must separate that child from the parents, which is the religion, because religion and this narrative they push are not compatible. So this is the attack on the family unit. This is the destruction of it. And this is why they push it. You're absolutely right, Ed. Great point you brought up.
James, I've heard of this biodigital convergence. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet. Until I become learning on it, I am going to keep my mouth shut about it because I don't know enough about it for now. But thank you for putting that out there.
I posted that stuff, Ed, from the government website about 2 years ago. Nobody pays attention to it, and that's just how it is, and that's how it goes. And it's all on the Canadian government website, so people have to start doing their own freaking research and reading up about this. It's not up to you and me to tell them everything. People need, and I'm talking to people of Canada, they need to go and do their own research. They should be going to their government websites, be it the government of Canada, the provincial government, the United Nations, the Rockefeller Foundation. You need to be looking at what these agendas are that they're pushing on us, learn them, read them, push back on them. And that's the bottom line. We can't, and we can't be accurate either 100%. Trying to remember by memory, that's a real difficult thing. But they should go to those websites and look it up. Look at all that stuff up.
Well, here's the thing. We come on here, we bring on various topics. I try to make Canadians aware of what's not being lied to them in the mainstream media and what I think is important and what I think should get out there. And some of the stuff takes off, some of the stuff that we release. Remember we had Dr. Gurgis on?
Yes, yeah, I remember Dr. Gurgis, yep.
Yeah, he had 2 stents installed yesterday, so he's recovering quite well in a Toronto hospital. So he's back on his feet. He had to come back from Mexico to get this procedure done. But nobody knew who he was till we brought him onto our show.
Yeah.
We launched a lot of people, and it's a good thing because they had good information to get out there. And if we didn't get it out there, maybe it would have never got out.
Yeah, exactly. So we're bringing up the awareness of it, and it's up to everybody else to actually dive in and learn about it and what's going on. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying we shouldn't make awareness, and this is why I tried that a couple of years ago and was pushing that out, but falls on deaf ears or it doesn't catch the interest of the people. So this is what everybody has to do, their own due diligence. You got to look into what's going on. And that's the big problem. This is why we're in the situation we're in now, because nobody gives 2 craps about politics and they don't get involved in this bullshit that people were pushing, telling everyone not to vote. That's the worst possible thing you can do, because you get all the lefties like you got in the last freaking 50 years or so pushing this communist shit, and this is what we're in now. Because nobody pays attention, nobody votes, they let them get away with it. Everyone likes to always take the easy road out and say, well, it's fixed, it's rigged, blah, blah, blah. Get out there and vote. Don't be sheep. Don't listen to the other sheep that tell you not to do it. Just don't be sheep, no matter what side you're on.
Not just get out there and vote. Get out there and get a position with Elections Canada. Become an auditor, become a scrutineer. Watch the shit happen. Make sure that they're using paper ballots in the the results are accurate. Personally, I'd love to see paper ballots, because when they had paper ballots, we had election results within an hour, hour and a quarter. Now it takes
You're absolutely right, and with these machines, there's problems. So, like, I'm going to tell you a couple of problems. I saw a video the other day where there was a guy. He voted in multiple jurisdictions, and he did not require any identification to vote. So they turn around, because you don't have to have ID, and all he had was a utility bill, that a fake one, and he made multiple fake ones and voted at multiple fake different places. And they say, oh, okay, we're going to give you a special ballot, so you're going to vote by special ballot. But the point is, Elections Ontario's website, and this is what I mean, what people need to start looking into our own government pages. Ontario's elections website says even if they produced identification and the photo does not match you, they're still supposed to accept it. So how crazy is that? I'm going to go in, I'm going to try it, even though I'm a candidate who runs in the elections. The next time they don't have me on, I'm going to borrow somebody's photo ID, who knows what. Maybe I'll have a woman's picture on it, and I'll just say it's me, and here it is. And don't worry about the photo, because Elections Ontario says I can do it, so don't worry about it. There you go. Another scenario we came up, there was a home that there was a influenza outbreak, so now this home is on lockdown. So Elections Ontario sends them a voting kit. Well, these ballots, the workers have to fill out the names of the candidates, and they have to get the people in the homes to do the voting. And guess what? We have no scrutineers in there, so we cannot have a scrutineer. How do we know the workers? We've seen it in BC. How do we know the workers didn't mark the ballot for them? Or how do we know that all the candidates were on the ballot and we weren't missing? Maybe they filled in the names after of the other candidates. We don't know this. And I'm not saying that they did this, so just to be clear, I'm just saying, when you have situations like this, it opens the door to abuse. And like we had seen in BC in the election, there was an exact same thing. And so this is a bad thing. But I'd love to hear from other parties. I'd love to hear them. And if you really want change, I think all these other parties that are being shut down by the elections, or however, the media is not giving us a fair shake. They don't invite us to debates, because they're trying to keep our parties hidden and make everybody think there's only 4 parties. How many parties do you think actually were in this election, this provincial election that we just had? 20. There's 20 freaking parties that were registered. So how is it always the 4? There's a big problem here. And all these parties that are getting the shaft, we need to get together. We need to pool our money together, because, we've been getting ripped off all this time. These 4 parties have been getting public money to campaign against everyone else. We don't get the public purse. They were getting the public purse. So
don't use that term, public purse or public money. They're getting our money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Our money. They're using our money. This is why I call it the public purse, because it's our money that goes to them. So our money goes into their purse. We're the public. So that's the public purse. And they're funding their own campaigns. And guess what? Every single freaking taxpayer, regardless of what party you're aligned with, you're paying another party to campaign against the party you're voting for, and you're paying for it. That's insane.
So again, Grant, you must have come in a little bit later. As I was saying earlier, a lot of the candidates do tell lies. Why not find some honest ones? There is honest ones out there. There's some good candidates out there. They're not all corrupt as hell. Look, imagine Kevin being the mayor of Mississauga. Had
Great.
6 or 7 volunteers, probably another 10 or 15 grand. He would have actually pulled it off, and we would have had another enough people to scrutinize all the irregular polling station issues that are going on, power outages, signs missing, people being misdirected. There's a lot of shit went down the last time Kevin went to run as mayor in Mississauga, and he got 13.4% of the vote. And might I remind you, these electronic voting machines, there's problems with them. Had they used paper ballots, it would have been over. It was done over and counted in an hour and a half to 2 hours. None of this waiting till 3, 4 in the morning for the final numbers.
Well, it's better if we're waiting till 3 or 4 in paper ballots and letting them count as it goes. But listen, as far as this comment goes, why would you want to vote? I'll tell you why you would want to vote. And it doesn't matter if the Dominion voting machine is vulnerable to cheating, because the problem is this: we are not taking a stand. The public is not taking a stand against this. Nobody is banding together. No one's putting their resources, be it financial, whatever, to challenge these things. I'll even take it to a better one. When we first brought in the voting machines, Elections Ontario brought us in and had the candidates or a representative of the candidates to show us how these machines work and everything. And the funny thing was, the next day after the machines were in, there was a little high school student who stood outside of the school. He wasn't even in the building, and he hacked those machines within like 15 seconds, and he was manipulating the votes. So why should you vote? Because you should vote, not vote, because everybody else is going to vote regardless. Those machines, accurate or not accurate, why is nobody taking the government to court? Or not the government, but the legislation. Why is no one taking the legislation and challenging it? The article is out there. Look at it. The high school student that hacked the Dominion machine. So why are you people, sorry, it's a Don Cherry comment, why are you people allowing the government to make these legislations? Why are you not challenging the legislation that's being created? I'll ask you that. Why are you not enforcing your rights? Why are you laying down and letting government steamroll you? If your vote is so important, why are you going to sit back and let them get away with it? That's my question to you, as your question to me. That's my answer to you and the question to you on why you would want to vote. So that's what I say. Why would you not impose your right? Why would you not want a secure vote by paper ballot with photo ID?
Here's a good question. I wonder if you can answer this one. Why was the Health Act so enforceable, but the National Flag Act isn't, regarding the flag being present inside the courtrooms?
Okay, this courtroom and flag garbage in the courtroom, who cares? What do you see in the courtroom, though? Aside of the flag. And show me some legislation somewhere that says that the flag must be in the courtroom. Show me that first, and I can give you a better answer. The National Flag Act, does it say anything about the flag having to be present inside the courtroom? I know when I'm in the courtrooms, I always see either the Queen or the King's photo that's up on the wall. And why is that? Because depending if it's the Queen or the King that's up there, when you're charged criminally, you'll always see it's the crown. This is why you have the crown. It's them who have brought you up on charges. So that kind of stuff with the flag, and then you got the flag with the trim around it, which is a UN thing. You'll see that all the time in municipalities. Now, if they're flying a flag with the gold trim on it, well, then you know they're under the influence of ICLEI, of the United Nations, and they do not have the residents at heart. So why are the residents not pushing back to have that flag removed. And if that act, let me just, here, Ed, talk a minute. Let me pull this act up. What was it? The National Flag Act? You know, let me,
National flag.
yeah, let me look it up and I'll see something there.
Position of honor. Give us tools. Give us the tools or the leadership to make our points be presented to the people. The answer to that is the press is controlled. Case in point, the CBC network. Absolutely, guys. But you know what? Not doing too bad on alternative media. There's enough of us out there getting enough information out. The people have slowly woken up. Don't forget, I was quite upset in 2022, and then the trucker convoy happened, and all these people I thought would never wake up were up there, were joining us. There was dancing, partying in the streets. A lot of people signs protesting. A lot of people that came there to make a change. The country stood up. That's why we had to get beaten down by all those cops. The government was terrified. Terrified, I'm telling you. Why do you think Trudeau caught COVID all of a sudden? Couldn't be reached. Why do you think did not one politician came to meet any of the people, any of the organizers? They were perfectly fine. Nothing would have happened to these people. And yet, in their minds, they thought it was terrible. It was something horrible was going to happen to them. Nobody came. Not one politician in Ottawa came that I know of.
All right, Ed, here, I'm going to post you in the private chat here. I'm going to post you the link to the PDF to the National Flag Act. And obviously, whoever this person was did not read the act or looked at it and probably got this information from somebody else, because there's nothing about the flag having to be posted in the courtroom. So that's completely false. I just looked it up. The act is only 6 pages, people. It's really small, tiny, no such thing. So this is the type of stuff where I keep telling you all, because a lot of free man on the land crap is just that crap. They mislead everyone, or they use American legislation that doesn't apply to Canada, or they manipulate and twist the words around. Show me in this act where it says that they have to be in the courtroom to be displayed. It doesn't. So that's an all-out falsehood. Just don't believe it. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. When you're getting told something, even this show, don't take my word for it. Don't take Ed's word for it. Look how long it took me to look up this act. 2 seconds and go right through it. It doesn't say it in there at all. So that's just not true. People need to really start researching your own stuff, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is a perfect example of it.
They are allowed the national flag of Canada to be displayed in accordance with the flag protocol. That's it. That can't be all there is to it.
That's it. That's the act. That's 6 pages, and 6 pages, all that 6 pages is really not even part of the act. That's just the statute numbers and stuff. So you got 2 sections, 3 sections, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. So that's a total falsehood. So you people need to stop being freaking controlled by these people. You start looking up the freaking acts. That's all I'm going to say to that. I don't even like arguing with this garbage, because it's a waste of time. It's like trying to talk to a kindergarten person that, like a little kid that just refuses to listen, even when the information's in front of your eyes. So, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to you or anything. I'm just saying people in general. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying this is why you need to do your due diligence and look up stuff that you're being told online, because a lot of it is BS, misinformation, and it gets a lot of people in trouble at the end of the day.
Okay, anyways, the link here is canada.ca English, Canadian Heritage Services, Flag Canada Etiquette, Flying Rules HTML. The other one is Canada.ca, English, Chief Military Judge, Services, Consult, Legal Resources, Procedure Guide.
Okay, hold on. Military. This is not a military. So it, again, does not apply. This is not a military tribunal or anything else. So that, again, wrong. So people, again, get your stuff right.
Yeah, the devil is in the details. But hey, thanks for putting that out there. We'll look into these things. Unfortunately, I cannot open links that are in the Facebook chat.
Here, I got you the link right here, Ed. I'll pull it up to you and look immediately what pops up. So again, wrong. People need to stop being misled, and that's the bottom line. Look what it says at the top immediately when you paste that link that we were just given.
Here, I'll get this ready to come up now. Share screen. Court Martial Procedure Guide. What the hell?
Exactly. So Ed, we gotta stop this. Stop this garbage. Stop it, please. Stop. And I like I said, I don't wanna hear this crap. I don't wanna argue this crap because this has got nothing to do with anything. This is in the military, in a military tribunal and stuff. This is ridiculous. Like, people, do your due diligence. Do not listen to this kind of stuff. You're being misled and sent down a bad road, and you're going to end up in the courts at some point in time, and you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble because you just simply took the word of somebody else. Don't do it.
Yeah. So they're right about misinformation. And people actually do put it out there intentionally to throw people off, or somebody's reading something late at night and then they forget where it was, and then they open it and they don't realize the context around it. So there you go, guys. Another one debunked. But hey, thanks for putting it out there. And the military is national. Is a national standard. The theater defines the identity of it. I don't know about that. Stefanos?
I'm not gonna waste my time, man. We gotta bring up, serious stuff. This is stupidity.
Okay, we're down less than 8 minutes. Anyways, the point I was trying to drive home, guys. Anyways, thanks for posting that stuff. We like to look at the stuff, and we can help set the record straight. So be it. Sogrove says, dude, what have you achieved in court? Stefanos, go ahead.
My God, how many constitutional freaking things do you want me to bring up that I've achieved in court? How many criminal representations have I achieved in court? Like, a lot? How many have you achieved in court? Please tell me.
Anyways, it's the reason why I like to go to Stefanos is because he's got first-hand experience, and he's actually.
I'm not saying you're free man on the land. I'm saying that this is what free men on the land do with other stuff. They don't even know what the hell common law is. They just say it's common law, common law. This is what gets people in trouble with driving. No license plate. But the people who preach that bullshit, they have a license plate on their car. They have a driver's license and insurance. That should be a huge red flag to anybody. I'm just saying, they twist legislation around. There's administrative law, there's criminal law, there's civil law, there's military law. That stuff does not fall into that. My God.
Anyways, we got taken right off the topic. The point the communists are trying to make about not talking about religion or politics is because, and I can't drive this point home hard enough, when you're talking about religion amongst your friends and your peers, when you get rid of religion, it's replaced with what? The state. The state becomes the new God. That's why they don't want you talking about the benefits of religion. I'm not. Yes, so some Christians, they find great strength to do things that most people wouldn't even consider doing, and yet they've got the strength of God somehow, and they found the strength by being God-worthy, and They live pious lives, or they try to. No one's perfect. I'm far from it.
Ed, and the other thing in religion too, like look at marriages. Who created marriage license? Did the Bible or did God or Jesus or whoever the hell your God is? Did they create marriage licenses? Did they say you have to do that? No. If you read the Bible and read all the stories of the different people in it, they had multiple wives. You didn't need a license. You didn't need nothing. And they had multiple wives. You know, spread your seed. Spread your seed. That's it. Populate. There is no one wife. You want to have 10 wives, you got 10 wives. Whatever. Just because man made marriage license, man made a license that says you can only be married to one person, and you know, then man made polygamy and all the other crap. So I'm not advocating for that. If your thing is you want to be married to one person, you're married to one person. That's it. If I want to be having 15 wives, that's up to me. That's not up to anybody else but me and all the other wives that I would have. So people need to make also that connection and that separation. If you're going to follow the Bible and you're you love your religion and everything, and you read it and learn it, maybe some of the newer religions have altered it. Even the original Bibles and stuff have been altered. They changed little words here and there. It's called micromanagement, and that's to suit today's society, not the society back way back then when that Bible was created. So I have my own whole opinion on that, but if that's not your opinion, that's good. We're allowed to have different opinions, and that's all fine.
Yeah, but if we talk about religion and the benefits of religion, people are more likely to be religious. And they're more likely to look into other religions and see how harmful the satanic religion does not fit with my rules, regulations, the guidance, or rules that I personally have, or standards that I personally have. Far from it. And yet it's been forced on us, along with the Khazarians that were forced to choose Judaism. They've spun that religion around in their favor. And look at that.
And you said the key thing, it's been forced on us. But who has forced it? Has it been the state that's forced it? Has it been the religions themselves from being changed through over the years? There's a couple of religions that are maybe a couple of 100 years old. There's other ones that are maybe 50 years old. You know, are those legitimate religions? In my opinion, no, they're not. They haven't been around then. These are religions that were created now under today's societies and rules. And I shouldn't say they're not legitimate. Sorry about that. I'll retract that. They are legitimate to those who believe in that. So if those people believe in that religion, be it 10 years old or maybe created yesterday, that's your religion. And if that's what your religion is and that's what you're going to live by it, then live by it. But the problem is there's just so many religions and everyone's screaming on whose religion is right, and this is where that religion or all religions actually divide instead of unify.
Okay, that's fine. And there's a lot of lying that's done about religions also. So have the conversations with people and talk about politics. We've got young kids that are going to be voting for NDP and this communist shit just because they've been lied to in the schools by their freaking lying teachers, fed lies on the mainstream media, and people don't have the courage to talk about politics. Guys, get the courage to talk about politics. Start having these conversations. Let's get some critical thought going on. Have some critical thinking going on. Maybe we can vote our ways out of this freaking mess that we're going into, and it's going to get a lot worse. If Mark Carney's daughter is any indication, you can bet it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Anyway, Stefanos, 20 seconds.
Look, it doesn't matter what party we're going, they're all pushing the same crap. Listen to what they're saying. They're all repeating it. All the stuff I got during elections, I can send you the questions that we were asked in the questionnaires and what the answers were from the major parties. And you'll see every single one of them are pushing the exact same stuff.